Welcome back to the Mid-Year YouTube channel. In this episode, we're doing a project car review. I've been really busy with the house and I haven't had time to do any car work, so I'm going to give you guys a review of this project car I saw on eBay. I've had several requests for a convertible to either restore or resto mod, and this is a car that is in prime condition to do either one to. Be sure to check out the link down below in the description and watch the video to see more about this car. I decided to do a video on this 64 convertible because I've had several people ask me lately for a convertible project, either to restore or to resto mod. So let's jump down here a little bit into the description. So we have a 64 convertible, has the original VIN, trim tag, Pennsylvania title, it's been off the road 40 years, solid frame, suspension is mostly complete. Not exactly sure what that means. The body is in overall good condition, does need some repairs on the front end, so we'll look at the front end. The bird cage is very solid, appears to be rust free with no issues. There's some pitting on the bottom of the windshield frame, they get that, so we'll have to see if there's a picture of that. Does have windshield, vent windows, glasses installed, doors, deck lid, hood, hard top. Hard top does not have all the parts, and it has a lot of parts that come with it. And it is a good restoration project or resto mod. Okay, went through that. Oops. Okay, let's jump into the pictures here. So we have a 64 convertible. It's got some nice shiny wheels on it. We have, looks to be a silver car, and a lot of the paint has been stripped. It looks like back here on the quarter panel you can see where they were stripping it, and all this gray looks like it's the primer underneath, so that doesn't look out of the ordinary. Looks like the door fits right here. The gap's really nice. It fits good across the bottom. That gap looks pretty good. And the front, I don't know. I think this is still some red oxide primer into here. I don't know if there's a little seam showing or what's going on here, but overall that looks pretty decent. And if we zoom in, we can see, well, we got a 57 Chevy. But we can see there is a little bit of surface rust in there. But we'll see if we can find another picture. Passenger side, same kind of thing. Looks like the front end's in pretty good shape. I can't tell if there's a little hunk missing here, or if that's primer, or like a piece of tape or something. Something might be going on there. And there might be a piece of tape over there. They may have done something when they stripped the paint. But this appears to be a little bit different color fiberglass than this. So it may have had a fender put on it at one point. But that's not concerning. Then back here may have a little bit of mud or red oxide primer there. It's kind of hard to tell, but it looks like you can see a pretty nice bond seam through here. But there may be a little bit of a sign of something here, so maybe it had a quarter panel put on it at one point. Can't really tell, but it looks like, again, the gaps are nice, so I'm not too terribly worried about that. Another little angle here. It looks like there may have been a crack here. Maybe someone was trying to chase it, so it might just be a little fiberglass repair, but it doesn't look too bad. And then we are missing some of the beak here. You can see it just kind of floating out in space, so there should be, I think there might be a picture of it, but there's a little bracket that comes off of it. It's a little triangle that holds your headlight bucket, and then there's another little flip piece that comes down here, part of the beak, and it just has one bond seam. It's probably one of the easiest panels to glue on. You have to get it right because of the headlights, but in terms of actually gluing a panel on, it's probably one of the more simple panels on the car. And the taillight panel, again, they didn't really finish stripping the paint. He got the big surfaces, but he didn't get down here. It looks like there's a real nice taillight panel seam. Looks like the taillight panel's in pretty good shape, and I think this is just some more of that primer. They just didn't finish for some reason. I'd probably get the car media blasted because it's mostly done and just get that primer off. It looks like someone may have painted the frame. There's some rust peeking through. Surface rust, but that looks like someone may have had the body off or was doing a frame on body on restoration. Now it doesn't have half shafts in it, but all the suspensions here, that looks like newer bushings. So someone was kind of doing a restoration underneath. They didn't redo the trailing arms or the rear end, but they started doing stuff under here. But it's all there. I mean, it's nice that the frame is solid. That's a good part if you're going with an original build. Now the floor, It looks pretty nice. It looks like the car, this kind of almost looks like white. And this is silver, so maybe the car's been, and this looks like it's white up here. So maybe the car's been painted a couple times. And to me, the dash looks blue, but it's hard to tell if it's blue or not. But I mean, the floor looks nice. It wasn't spliced. I don't see any holes. The doors are complete. I see the regulator in here, door handle, regulator, so it's manual windows. Dash pads look pretty nice. Looks like it has a nice steering wheel column, pedal assembly. So those are a lot of the parts that people are hunting for. It's got nice rocker on this side. This almost looks like it's like a silver with like a little bit of a hint of green to it almost. And you can see here there is a little bit of maybe filler or something right here, which again is not concerning, but this is blue. So okay, so the car had a blue interior originally. So maybe it was originally white. I see more traces of white with a blue interior. Not an uncommon combination. It's got some seats with a different pattern in them, but it looks like it's pretty complete. I see door glass. Now up here, you can see the inner fender, which to me, this inner fender looks like it has a darker color of fiberglass than some of the other stuff, but I could be mistaken. I don't know if this was replaced at one point. This almost looks like a dark gray, but I see a little piece of fiberglass riveted here and maybe a little crack here. And these little tabs that hold the grill, those are often broken and need some patching. There were some that were messed up on my red Corvette. And it looks like we have a piece of string holding up the bottom part here, which was pop riveted on. So this separates over here, this lower valance part separates between the parking light panels, which I can show you later. But they sell this piece. If this one is broken, you can just put a whole new one on, or this one probably could be fixed. And you can see right here, this is where that bond seam is for the other part of the front end, which is right here. This, oops, we're moving. This beak here, this goes on, oh, can't do that. It goes on right here, right to the front. And then this would be the parking light panel. It seams here the whole way around, and it's this bottom portion. Back to the parts. Nope, full screen. There we go. Haven't run eBay in a while, I guess. So we have some miscellaneous parts. We got a heater. There's some parts here for the trailing arms, dust shield. We have 3 headlight buckets, radiator, some control arms, grill, windshield, bumpers, another door glass, more parts for the heater, glove box. It's nice to have that glove box frame in the door. Looks like we have some hood latches, steering box, maybe some parts for the gas tank. I see a wiper motor, expansion tank, bumper brackets, and the spare tire tub. So that is, again, yeah, some parking lights. So there's a good bit of stuff, some door parts, license plate stuff, steering column. There's a distributor, battery tray, alternator, armrest. There's a good bit of stuff in here. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's got all bumper brackets. Is that a new wiring harness? I can't tell if that's a new wiring harness or a used wiring harness, but it's got a wiring harness in the box. I see some ignition shielding. These are the pieces of fiberglass that go behind the seat, and this is that triangle I was talking about that was missing, which is the same as this piece over here for the front end that the headlights bolt into. So it looks like you've got a lot of that stuff. Wiper motor, master cylinder, fresh air vent stuff. More headlight stuff, fresh air vent. Wiper transmissions. Hood latch stuff, headlight. Good bit of stuff. Got a shoe. Looks like we have an original e-brake cable and then the old Tacker Speedo cable. I can't remember which one had a white casing. One of them did. Oops, I did it again. Back to where we were. One of them had a white casing. I can't remember which one. And we have the Y duct for the heater, defrost. So it actually looks like it's pretty darn complete. We've got an 870 block, so it's got a 327 block in it. And I don't see a carburetor. It does have a steering box already in it. The clutch crossbars in it. looks pretty decent under here. You can see over here, that's like a little bit whitish color on that fender. And again, I feel like that may have been replaced. It could have been. If this side fender was replaced, this inner fender could have been replaced at one point, but that's not a problem. And then we've got a black hardtop and phone number. Oops. Okay, so that is the overall view of the car. I think the biggest things that I would focus on is, if you're interested in this, double check on the windshield frame. In general, if it's a car that hasn't been by the ocean, they should rust from here down. The frame looks pretty nice, so as long as the car was stored okay, maybe just got a little bit of moisture down here. From here up, this part of the windshield should be nice, unless it was in a really humid climate, then this will rust. But you can see the chrome from the other pictures that we looked at on the vent windows looks pretty nice. So I'm going to say the top of the windshield's probably okay. There could be a little bit of something in here, but I don't think there's going to be enough of any rust or pitting that you're going to have to pull the front end or the firewall off. You may not even have to pull the dash out of it for that matter. Just wire wheel it, treat it, and paint it. You probably would be okay. But the back half of the car, quarter panels look nice, deckler looks nice, the doors look nice, the floor and rockers are nice. So I'm going to say from here back, you can probably just strip the paint and then maybe redo some of the bodywork. I never like using old people's bodywork because this is old filler or whatever. Well, I just can't. Can you stay on the picture I'm looking at? Here we go. I just don't like trusting other people's bodywork, so I'd pull that out, redo the seams. But it looks pretty decent. Now this side looks pretty good. There may be a little thing here, but you're going to end up redoing your seams anyways. I would treat the seams so they don't come back. So if you have your front end of your car, what I would do is put the headlights and attach them on this side. Pick whatever, but there are 3 buckets. Pick whatever buckets fit the best. Attach it on this side, and then I would try and clamp that front part of the snout right here in place and mock up your headlights, because you want to make sure that you have a nice body line across the front. There's a nice little line that comes through here. You want to make sure your headlights, that beak, your other headlight, and your parking light panels line up. You also want to make sure your gap is nice and tight with your headlight bucket in the back. I've seen a lot of them. You can tell when they're repaired because one headlight is drooping down. Well, there's a big gap over here. So if you take your time and you line everything up, use your headlights to tell you where this front part of the beak needs to go, you'll be in good shape. And then if you have to replace this lower valance, I would use the grill. And if you don't want to use the grill that's with the car, buy a new one. Use whatever grill you know for sure you're going to use, and use that grill to help position this lower chin to make sure that it flows really nice side to side. There's not a big gap here, and that it's even. If you make sure you use your grill, then whenever you put the car together, you put the trim on it, it'll fit nice. But if you just kind of tweak it or use a different grill, that grill could be bent, and then you kind of have a mess whenever you get it put together. It's not unrecoverable, but it's better to use the parts that you're actually going to use on your build. But overall, I mean, it seems like it's a pretty nice car. It's going to need a little bit of body work up here, but I don't think you're going to have to put a new nose on it. You're not going to have to put a new hand laid or one-piece front end or a brand new press molded front end. A new front end can be from like $2,500 to almost $10,000. So you're not going to have to spend that. It's got a 64 hood. I don't think I mentioned that. So you're not going to have to spend money there, but if you're a do-it-yourself kind of guy, you can get this figured out. And the frame looks pretty nice. I would probably, if the frame's in decent shape in terms of the paint, I guess you could leave the body on it. I would probably pull it off because I don't think it has a gas tank in it, and I don't know if it has brake lines. I just like pulling the body off and running all new lines. I have a guy that'll blast and powder coat my stuff really reasonable, so you don't have to worry about addressing this kind of stuff. Actually, there's a little keyhole here, so this actually might even be, you may have had a new frame put under it even, because this 64s don't have the keyhole here, I don't think. Because that's for the side pipes. You put the bolt head through here and you slide it forward. It has a little square that locks in there. Interesting. But it does have drum brakes on it. So it has 64-ish suspension on it, but it may have a different chassis on it. But people watch my channel because they care about the birdcage stuff. From what I can see, this is glue up here from whenever they put that like jute padding on here. There's a little bit of surface rust, but I don't see anything crazy bubbling through, and you'd really see it whenever it's white. Again, just like I tell everybody else, peek your head up here, look at these pinch welds here, make sure it's not rusty, check the doors to make sure they close nice, which if it has another frame under it, it probably does close nice. There's a new bolt there, so it may have had another frame put under it, or someone had side pipes on this at one point. Hard to say. I don't know. Check it out. It's on eBay right now, and it ends in 3 days. So on Thursday, it ends. Normally I don't put videos out on Monday, but I wanted to put out a quick video here just to talk about this because I've been running behind on my videos. So here's this car. Check it out if you're looking for a project, because I don't have time to build other people projects that aren't already on my schedule. So check this one out. But that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. As you know, I have a lot of work to do. I've been hustling away on this house. Hopefully I'll be getting back to some car work this week, and maybe we can have a video out Friday or Saturday. I may move my video upload time to Saturdays just because it's crazy with my new job. Just trying to get stuff out. My other job, I was off every other Friday, and that made it easier to catch up on videos, but I don't have that here, so it's Friday nights get a little chaotic sometimes with me trying to get stuff ready for a video. So I may start uploading on Saturdays, long story short. Hopefully we'll be back on that split window again this week, and we got to get that car finished up because I've got plenty of work to do, and I'm really itching to get on to my Model A. So I really want to get some of these cars knocked out so we can focus on some of those cars. So I got a lot of work to do, and I'll catch you guys later.